So first we have Resident Evil 3. Now the main criticism for this game was its short length. I have played this game and I found it to be quite entertaining. I liked 2 and 4 a lot more. In fact, the Resident Evil 4 remake I played multiple times. But this one had a nice pacing to it. It was very fast paced. You are basically running away from this creature and it takes you comfortably under 5 hours. I got lost a little bit and even then I finished it in about 4 hours. So I imagine speedrunners are probably doing this in under an hour. But you can crank up the difficulty. These offer you some replayability with the difficulty settings and unlocking everything. So if you do end up liking it, you can play it multiple times. But one run of the campaign should take you around 3 to 5 hours. So this is its usual price of 75% off, $10, $5.84 in India, $8.24 in the UK, $12.49 in Canada, and $10 in the Eurozone. Next is a slightly older game. This is Firewatch. So Firewatch is a popular, you could say, walking simulator, exploration, story-rich type game. You can see the reviews are very, very positive. I often hear about this game. I did buy it myself not too long ago. Haven't played it though. So this is 80% off, $176 in India, $4, $3.35 in the UK, $5.19 in Canada. Next is Ryse Son of Rome. So this is an Xbox One launch title. Did not do well commercially, but it's an excellent game, still holds up graphically. And if you play the campaign, it should take you comfortably under 5 hours. There are multiple difficulty settings, and I would recommend you go for the higher difficulty to make the combat a bit more interesting because it uses quick time events for fighting. That was the thing about 10 years ago. A lot of games had quick time. So you could try that, and that will make it more satisfying. But the story was excellent, and because it's so cheap now, I think this is a fantastic pickup. 65% off, $349, $122 in India, $279 in the UK, $4 in Canada, $349 in the Eurozone. Another excellent campaign is Titanfall 2. One of the best FPS campaigns, if not the best FPS campaign I've played. You could take a little longer if you explore things a little bit. I think 5 to 6 hours if you are playing it for the first time and you're taking your time. But this is a fast-paced shooter game, and if you use the techniques like the wall running and all those things, it'll actually take you a lot less. If you're a seasoned FPS player, if you play a lot of FPS games, I think this should take you about 3.5 hours. So 80% off. It has been cheaper, so you could wait a little more. I've seen this on 90% off, but it's still a great price. $5.99, $2.99 in India, $5 in the UK, $8 in Canada, $5.99 in the Eurozone. Next is a more recent game. This is Stray. So Stray is a game where you play as a stray cat in a cyberpunk city. Very popular game, very beautiful looking, and you can see the reviews are overwhelmingly positive. And overall, the game length is almost exactly 5 hours. So 40% off. This is also, I believe, the lowest price for this one in terms of percentage discount. And this is $18, $7.49 in India, $14.39 in the UK, $24 in Canada, $16.79 in the Eurozone. Next is A Short Hike. So this game has been given away by Epic, so have a look there. I have heard a lot of good things about this game, and despite it being short, people absolutely love this game. You can see the reviews here. Hour and a half is what I've heard in terms of gameplay length, which is fine for me. 45% off, $439, $164 in India, $318 in the UK, $494 in Canada, $362 in the Eurozone. Next is the popular Stanley Parable. So this is not really a game. It's a weird thing. It makes fun of games and genres, and it's a walking simulator. There's a very interesting, funny narrator. They've also made a sort of extended version that has come out recently with more content, but this is the original. Definitely worth picking up and trying out. You'll get a lot of silly laughs. And this is 50% off, $749, $345 in India, $639 in the UK, $974 in Canada, $739 in the Eurozone. This is a weird game. I can't even say how long it is because it's not the conventional game, but it depends on how long you want to try and explore the different things. You should get a couple of hours of fun out of it. Next is Far Lone Sail. So I do mention this game quite a lot. It's a fun environmental puzzle type of game, 2.5D style of gameplay. You have this vehicle. I don't know, there's no name for it, and you are just a boy trying to just go from left to right, and you have to pick up fuel, repair the thing. If you get stuck, there are environmental puzzles, you have to solve that. If it's windy, you can use the sails to get movement. And yeah, very enjoyable game, very minimalistic, no dialogue, barely any music, and it should take you 3.5 hours on your first attempt. There is an achievement in this game to finish this in under 90 minutes, so you can get an idea of how you can finish this, how quickly you can finish this. Next is Bramble, the Mountain King. So a story set and inspired by the Nordic fables, a dark story. You can see once again overwhelmingly positive. This might still be available via Prime Gaming if you are interested. It is available for the Epic Game Store, so you can check it out and not spend any money. But if you want to buy it on Steam, it is 60% off, $12, $5.20 in India, $10 in the UK, $15.59 in Canada, $12 in the Eurozone. Next is Jusant, so a newer game. I did play the trial or something when it was available a few months ago. And yeah, this is a climbing game. Very straightforward in terms of the gameplay. You'll get used to it very easily. So you can use your left trigger, right trigger, and just keep climbing. Interesting game. And yeah, this should take you about 5 hours to finish, according to how long to beat. I haven't finished it myself though, so I'm just mentioning the times. And yeah, it looks like a fun game. 30% off, $17.49, $8.22 in India, $15.74 in the UK, $22.74 in Canada, $17.49 in the Eurozone. A little expensive, so I'm going to wait until it's cheaper before picking this up, unless it arrives in a bundle or something. Now on to something different. So the survivor style games, these are really great games for replayability, but each session is kind of short. So the objective here is to survive for 20 minutes, and each run is 20 minutes, usually. Sometimes even shorter, 10-minute runs. But you have to like survive and fight off the hordes of zombies and other creatures in these games for 10 to 20 minutes. So this is a great game so that you can pick up and play, even do a few runs and then call it a day. I have actually spent a lot more than a few hours into these games, but at a time you only play 1 or 2 hours. So yeah, here you have like different heroes or operatives and use their abilities and update them and just try to survive for 20 minutes. This is my favorite of this style of game, and this is 25% off, $749, $360 in India, $637 in the UK, $974 in Canada, $731 in the Eurozone. Another one of the same genre, you could say, is Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. So if you play Deep Rock Galactic, same concept, dwarves, mining, fighting off bugs, but they've made it into the survivor style. I have also played quite a few hours of this one, and I do like this one. Not as much as the previous one, but this is also super fun. Very positive reviews. And this is 25% off once again, $749, $360 in India, $749. So these mostly are $10, and then you get a small discount here and there. Now this is the game that probably started this whole revolution with the walking simulators, at least the modern revolution, and that is Dear Esther, Landmark Edition. So this game is basically you are on an island in the Outer Hebrides of the coast of Scotland, and somebody's reading a letter in the background, and yeah, that's it. You explore this small island, beautiful scenery. But if you are curious about this like genre and what this is, there's really nothing in terms of gameplay apart from just walking around, exploring and listening to something. This is the game, and it's very cheap. You can check it out. They've also recently made a new game, Still Wakes the Deep, a horror game. Same people. So you may want to try that as well, but that's expensive, so I thought I'll mention this one here. 85% off, only $149, 55 rupees, 119 in the UK, 164 in Canada, 149 in the Eurozone. Next is Superhot. So a unique game, FPS, but the mechanic here is that everything just stands still. Time just stays still until you move. So you move, everything moves. You stay still, everything is still. So that was the concept. I think there are a couple of games here. So very unique take. I think it's also available in VR. 70% off, $749, $269 in India, $539 in the UK, $9 in Canada, $674 in the Eurozone. And then we have Gris, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but a interesting looking 2D style game, beautiful art style, music, etc. And yeah, very popular. Also, I think has been given away by Epic. So this is 80% off, $299, $138 in India, $255 in the UK, $389 in Canada, $295 in Eurozone. So that's a quick look at some interesting shorter games. If you don't have a lot of time, check out these ones. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.